Attention, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please come back in. Testing 1, 2. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. If we could come in and take our seats. Testing, testing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now ready to get started. Please take your seats. Okay, we're now ready to get started. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. Okay, good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. As it is written in the beginning, oops, I'm sorry, wrong program. Good evening and welcome to the 2024 Installation and Logistics Award Dinner. I am Jerry Griffin and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Tonight, we will recognize the accomplishments of the active and civilian Marines across the Marine Corps Installation and Logistics Enterprise. Thank you. The award citations and biographies for each award are available on the Marine Corps Association website. And in your program, there is a QR code that can be scanned to access the information. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask if you would please join me in a round of applause to the Hilton staff and Miss Leanne Mitchell from the Marine Corps Association. Thank you so very much for putting this amazing event together. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium the Deputy Commandant for Installation and Logistics, Lieutenant General Edward Banta.
All right, hoorah! How we doing tonight? So, first off, Jerry. So Jerry Griffin, you have like a fan club out here, right? You stood up and people started hoorahing. So Jerry, I ran into him in the Pentagon today, and I said, Jerry, how long have you been doing this? And he said, I don't know, I forgot. But it's like what, 6 years? 4, 5, or 6 years? Yeah. So thank you, because you are like the voice of the INL Awards dinner, and it's great. So we're really happy to have you here. But hey, everybody, thanks for being here. My wife Molly and I, better? Okay. Yeah. So we're just thrilled to have this out here tonight. And I know that Terrence Rhodey and Joan, good to see you both, but you kind of went through all of our English tests. In my mind, everybody all here for a reason. We so appreciate it. So for all the generals, all the sergeants major, all of our senior executives, the Marines, the families, welcome. Um, this doesn't just happen, and I know, Jerry, you offered up a round of applause for here. We've mentioned Color Guard, Quintet, and I think I might have run into the Quintet the other day when I was down in Colorado. Still in the room here. Thanks again for being down there. But there's some other folks that think it's happened. Sabrina, where are you? Okay. Can you stand up? All right, wherever you are. So, yeah, Sabrina, she actually like put this whole thing together. She was, at least from my staff. So Sabrina, great job. Well, great job once we go through with this. Everything continues on track, but really appreciate it. Um, so, and as a group of people here, Rayman, if I really am paying for this, I'll come to you afterwards because we're probably going to need a little bit of help on that. But great to have you here. And Chief, as our as the leader of the group here in the staff that kind of wrangled together and thank again for helping out with the exploration. Really appreciate you being here. And we already mentioned, I think, Steve Reardon, because she works in the she is the senior civilian. And that is like another full-time job on top of being the assistant deputy commandant of installation statistics. I don't know how she does it. We've also got kids at home. Amazing. As well as the front office staff. Hey, the lieutenant, I know you already had to stand up, so I'm not going to make you do that again, okay? But as speaking for myself, as I am kind of nearing the end of my career, kind of but looking at you out there and what you represent and the opportunities that you have in front of you, number one, I'm incredibly proud of you, but I'm also really curious because it's picking up the reins for those of us who are part of the. So thanks for what you do. And you don't all have to be logisticians. You can be combat engineers too. Okay, you get to blow stuff up. It's awesome. And then you can be a logistician later on. So it all worked out okay. Hey, also our spouses and families who are here tonight. So we always ask questions, right? And again, a round of applause for our families and spouses. Thanks for what you do. And I know we already mentioned Tom Mannion, but Tom, thank you for being here. As many of you know, Tom's with the Travis Mannion Foundation, and named in honor of First Lieutenant Travis Mannion, whom we lost in Iraq in 2007. But his legacy lives on today and continues to inspire current and future generations of Marines. I always say that was my regret that I did not have the opportunity that I done so. I know. And thank you, sir, for being here, for continuing to speak. Really appreciate it. Industry partners. So I'm sorry I didn't get around to say a lot of you tonight, but we owe you so much. Not just for being here tonight, but for what you do to help us solve our really tough challenges, either with services or with programs. Uh, it really goes along to keep food along. So, of course, we appreciate the awards. So, on the topic of awards, I think we already mentioned it. This is in your program. This is the first year that we're going to award the Lincoln. We announced it last year, and it's named in memory of Mr. Lincoln, who many of us knew over the course of our career. He was kind of affectionately known as the Law Yoda. His mentoring and inspiration. So I know we've got Ron, James, and others here tonight to represent the award. So thanks so much for joining us as we honor him. Really appreciate it. Hey, on the topic of awarding, earlier today, myself as well as a number of logistics general officers and senior executives had a chance to honor our awardees. And so as you look at their bio, you'll see they span the Marine Corps both geographically and functionally, all the way from Pacific Hawaii back to the West Coast, there, onto MARSOC, the Marine Corps Combat Service Support School, and then our East Coast bases. So they truly reflect the breadth and scope of operations neurologistics and installations supported over the past year. And I think that this just reinforces the critical role that our logistics formations and basic stations play as key enablers, truly the pacing capability of our. Okay, on to my real job here tonight, and that's to introduce our guest of honor. Most of you probably know Mo Mahoney. And I'm under kind of the operating assumption that when I've got a senior aviator in the room, he's probably like one of the best guys in the Marine Corps. And when I asked him that, he's like, "Oh no, well, Woody's actually pretty good over there." So, but he said the real measure is if the number of takeoffs equal the number of landings. I said, "Okay, so did they?" And he goes, "Yes." I said, "How many were they?" He said, "I don't know, but they were equal numbers." So clearly, General Mahoney, our acting has excelled as an aviator, but you can read about that, and that's kind of again, it's my sort of given assumption. What I like to think about is that as an aviator, he truly has an appreciation for the role that logistics, and I would even offer that installations play in warfighting. So he gets the fuel and the parts and the maintenance required to run a Marine aircraft. He understands the aviation ground support and the general support logistics that make our aviation expeditionary. But he's also the general officer who takes the time to understand how installations and infrastructure fit into the picture and underpins operations and readiness. He's the general officer who notices how our Marines live. And he takes notice when Marines are climbing out of the windows of their barracks because the door locks don't work. And more importantly, he takes action at the highest levels to help fix it. Not everybody does that. He's also the general officer who carves out time to be in the pack. Most of you know what that is. It's the gym in the Pentagon. And while pondering the 30-weight issues of the Marine Corps, he will still take time out to talk with Marines, even while he's clocking a sub-25K on the ergometer. So the guy's a stud, too. And he's also the general officer who blends a degree of New England pragmatism with the intellect of a true scholar, while still being a lot of fun on liberty. And he's the GO who has served side by side with our allies and partners and understands the critical role that they will play in meeting current and future security challenges, particularly as we look to setting the theater in the Indo-Pacific. And I would also note in his last job, he served as our Deputy Commandant for Programs and Resources, which means he understands money and he understands everything that goes into resourcing our Marine Corps, which is kind of important. So, General Mahoney, we used to be able to call you Mo, now we got to call you ACMAC. Thank you for being here tonight. It is truly my honor to introduce our 37th Assistant Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Mo Mahoney.
All right, it's going to be tough to live up to that, but I can attest that the number of takeoffs did equal the number of landings. And Woody, I'm way better than you. So the joke at the Pentagon that the SecNav told me, he said, "Hey, you like this Commandant stuff so much. I think you got the Commandant tied up in the basement at 8th and I." And I said, "Mr. Secretary, the joke's on him because I just let him out just in time for testimony season." The formal welcomes have gone out, and well and truly, huge crowd. Welcome to everybody, my general officer brothers, the retired friends, all the friends of INL. Tom Mannion, great to see you. I'm going to take just a quick detour here. You might know, you might not know, but after I get done, you will know that the Marine Corps just achieved a clean opinion on its audit. Full financial audit. So some of you don't let your eyeballs roll back in your head and go, "I don't know what that is." That's okay. But I want to recognize the pivotal, critical, fundamental, decisive effort that INL put in to this audit. If you touched a piece of equipment, if you warehoused it, if you modified it, if you moved it from one place to another, if you put valuation on it, you were part of this audit, whether you're a Lance Corporal in an ASP, right up to D. Reardon or Ted Banta. You were decisive in this audit. The crew at PNR, they took care of the financial side. INL took care of the property side. You, the two pistons that did this. And I'm going to call him out. He's going to be upset with me. Don't care. I got more stars than he does. Brigadier General Forrest Poole fundamentally changed the approach to the property side of audit. He's an intellectual bludgeon. He's a process axe. And I have it on good authority that he physically caused some ASPs and other warehouses to be open when otherwise they would not have. Forrest, much gratitude and thanks. True difference maker. And you made the audit happen. Thanks. All right, Chuck, despite your continued seasonal horrible jokes, you put on a great show, and the whole gang puts on a great show. Thanks, and thanks, gang, for thanks to Ted for inviting me. I'll get on with it. Before we get to congratulating awardees, I just want to touch on maybe three points of my observation that are related to logistics. And when I say logistics, I mean logisticians proper. I mean the diaspora of engineers, of supply officers, of people who want to be logisticians. And I just want to talk to you about what I observe in current ops, either in the field or from the Pentagon. The logistics contest, which might be a play on words of contested logistics, but the logistics contest, logistics and the friction of getting us from where we are to where we need to go, and the fact that we need to go faster is kind of my third point. Right now, some of the best logisticians are here and here. Some are out here in the audience, but a whole ton of them are at work around the world making this thing called the Marine Corps work. You, the wider you, are doing some incredible things in movement of sustainment and life support. The gene run. Let's start with my observation of global positioning, the GPN. Our bid to cheat distance, to cheat time, have a forward posture so when the balloon goes up, we are ready to move from the point of departure to the point of friction. Easy to say, tough to do. I've seen the progress in the Philippines. I've seen the progress in Japan. Whether it's the Sakashima Islands in the south to northern Luzon, these are places where 3 years ago-ish, we wouldn't even consider operating in, much less having a logistic footprint or pre-positioning. This work is groundbreaking. You've taken the concept, the idea, let's talk about it, to physical presence once again in places that I never would have bet on. The caves in Norway, another great example of how we are cheating that distance. Our MPS shipping that operates globally, once again, that puts us forward closer to the likely places and points of friction. So that's how we try and decrease the distance, decrease the time, and cheat those two elements. But forward staging is only a small part, in my mind, of the story. The real story, the rest of the story is with you all. It's the way you train, it's the way that you plan in the execution. It's the Marine logisticians, the civilian Marines, doing right now, once again, whether it's from the E-ring or whether it's in the field, to be ready with what we need, when we need it, at the point and place and time. It's not a concept, it's reality. Even during exercises, the actions that are taken in support of sustaining that force and getting it to achieve the objectives that we needed to achieve are on the backs of logisticians. I believe this. Next week, I'm going to Norway. I hope to have free beer in Norway as well. The most important part of my trip is I'm going to visit the 2,500 Marines that are operating. Hopefully, our Swedish allies. I don't know if this thing's going to quit on me, so I'll just speak louder. Those Marines and our allies are stressing the logistics plans right now, right up in old Vlad Putin's. And Mr. Putin, he realizes it, and he will react to it. 22 miles south, the 26 Mews in the Mediterranean. And they're ready for all manner of METs or things that they are called to do. And if they are called to execute a NEO, who is the main effort? Logisticians are the main effort. Logisticians will be the decision makers. That's right, CLB logisticians. Kind of rhymes with BLT, but not quite. So keep moving south to the Horn of Africa, working for Mike Langley, the ACE crisis response with MV-22s and KC-130s. They don't just get up and fly. They need bulk liquids, they need heavy things, they need health support, they need life support. They need logisticians. That mission they have going there is in a very austere location, and it can move out to even more austere locations. It's only, once again, the mode of flow of logistics that it's going to allow them to do that. Another 2,000 miles west, USS Somerset, sorted as the lead element of the 15th MEU. What's on Somerset? The CLB is on Somerset. The CLB is supported by elements of the BLT, not the other way around. We're used to the BLT being supported by the CLB. I wonder why they did that. because they realized that the forward edge, the decision is going to start with logistics. So that's why Somerset got pushed forward with a heavy logistics footprint on it. 1,000 miles further west, the Marine Corps Engineer Det in Palau is rehabilitating a core runway to take KC-130s. Now, they're doing that because the last time we did it was in 1944, so they're bringing it back up to speed. Those are logisticians. In Korea, 3rd MLG is working side our ROC brethren in Freedom Shield right now to fight and sustain on the Pen. Once again, an effort there that will rely on the backbone of logistics if we hope to be successful in any contingency there. So all around the world, the logisticians are plying their trade, making the machine run. We also got to understand that our installations, whether they're overseas or whether they're in CONUS, wherever they happen to be, they have to be viewed as power projection platforms. They have to be viewed as a place where we can generate a force of Marines to go forward, either at great distances or maybe not so great distances, to put their boots on the of our enemies and be decisive. This is a top priority for the Commandant. That means our installations have to be survivable. They have to be defendable in all domains. And as we transition to this way of thinking, it's tough for me as a guy who lived in Miramar, as I walked out into the balmy, sunny days of 72 degrees, that this is a power projection platform. We got to figure out how to be more resilient. We need to figure out how to defend this thing and project a force forward. We have to follow through with the barracks. We have to take what we're saying, marry it up with resources, and then turn those resources into action. If we are going to force from a force projection platform, it's all part of an equation. It also means, though, that we have to take a cold, hard, sober look at the things that are working, as well as the things that ain't working. The things that are not working, we need to get rid of, because they cost money, they cost time, and they typically take a human tax as well. Once again, easy to say, tough to do. There are cultural changes that need to take place. There are programmatic changes that need to take place. There are fiscal movements that need to take place. There is leadership that has to buy in and make it happen. We're working that transition now. In budgetary terms, we've been through at least 6 budget cycles of this transition. And I would offer we got to do it quicker. There are people on the planet that ain't going to wait for us. We, the collective we in this room, the collective we of the Marine Corps, we have gotten really good at logistics over the last few years, and I've been on the receiving end of that as an aviator. Who's my Afghanistan or Iraq vets? You name for me a time when you needed something as small as a bleed air pressure regulator, -3, not a -5, and within some maintenance, that part showed up. Now, we might have made contact on the way of getting that, and we might have made some people pay for delaying us. I can think of no time when didn't do what we needed it to do. It wasn't easy, though. It was a part of the planning, the thinking, and the training that I talked about. That equation of success, the variables are different. We used to refer to last tactical mile. But nowadays in our priority theater, it's more like the last tactical 1,000 miles over ocean. The equation is different. The equation is the same, sorry. The variables are different. We had uncontested use. We could build a master jet base. We may not be able to do that. Variables, logistics are different. The equation is the same. The adversary's ability to infiltrate our networks right now, to track us, to target us, from our point of origin in beautiful balmy Miramar to the first island chain or wherever else we're going, has increased, has become ubiquitous at a pace that we haven't seen since World War II. We have to maneuver through and to the threat. and logistics, I believe, are the leading edge of that maneuver. The fact is, we'll be watched and targeted once again from the continental United States throughout the first island chain or any other island chain that you pick. Around the world, you, may have to fight just to get in the fight. And once you're in the fight, you're going to have to fight to stay there and sustain it. Equation's the same, variables are different. So while defining the need for force design, said this: logistics pacing function, and it is the most complex problem we will undertake. I believe that. We need to increase the pace. We need to accelerate. When we think about the future, I look at the lieutenants out here, all logisticians, right? No engineers, no suppos. That's what General Banta just said. We're going to need fresh ideas and different perspectives at scale and at speed. So turning the idea into a concept, into a model, into an experiment, into an exercise, into reality is going to have to happen faster. And y'all, you youngins, are going to be the motive flow behind that. You're going to be the catalyst behind that. And I'm telling you, it won't be easy. If we want to be lighter, if we want to be more mobile, if we want to be more distributed and less observable, some of those things are in direct contest with each other. We have to figure it out. The physical requirements of what needs to happen are generally the same. Once again, the equation is generally the same. A pallet of ammo is a pallet of ammo. I don't know anybody here who can carry that on your back. And until we figure that out, we have to figure out a way to do what I just talked about. Lighter, with less of a signature, faster, to more distributed locations. We can't count on a line of 7 tons pulling up to pick up our stuff and drive them down an MSR. We can't count on a master jet base where we can bring in plane after plane after plane to load on that 7 ton. The variables are different. New solutions, we need them. Maybe it's autonomous surface vessels, which we're going after. Maybe it's autonomous vertical lift. Maybe it's drone swarms to act as decoys or queer a targeting equation. We need survivable, lethal formations of Marines that are easier to sustain. For all that, we need a plan. And we're developing that plan now. But that plan's got to be able to evolve. It's got to be able to change and adapt at the pace that we require it to. Once again, back to General Berger's definition and admonition. We don't have a laydown and a plan when we lose access to external lines of communication. We are late. It's already too late. If we don't have a plan when the fighting starts, it's already too late. We're looking out at the audience. I don't think we're going to be late. I think we're going to do that. We're going to take an idea to reality. We're going to do it quick, and we'll put some scale behind it. But once again, it ain't going to be easy. It's been said that the Army marches on its stomach. Napoleon or somebody famous like that said it. Say whatever you want, but the message remains the same. When it comes time to put our boot on the throat, loggies will get us there with what we need when we need it, and the loggies will keep us in that fight. Once again, a challenge to the youngins, but congratulations to the awardees tonight, and Semper Fidelis. Thank you.
At this time, will Lieutenant General Shiroti and Lieutenant General Banta please join General Mahoney center stage to present the awards? Ladies and gentlemen, it is with sincere pleasure that we get to recognize the achievement of the Marine Corps' outstanding active and civilian Marines and units across the logistics enterprise. The first presentation of the evening is the Marine Corps Civilian Logistician of the Year. This is the first year that the award is named the Mr. Nicholas M. Linkowitz, the Marine Corps Civilian Logistician of the Year, named in honor of Mr. Nicholas Linkowitz, who passed away January 2023. After serving for 10 years as an active duty Marine, Mr. Linkowitz became a federal servant positioned at Headquarters Marine Corps, Installation and Logistics Department, where he worked until he retired in 2018. Over 44 years, Mr. Linkowitz had a hand in almost every significant Marine Corps warfighting development from the mid-1980s through 2010s, known as Log Yoda. To many, Mr. Linkowitz's career left an indelible mark of mentorship and professionalism on the installation and logistics team and can be summarized by the mantra, do as much as you can for as many people as you can. Mr. Linkowitz's full bio can be found in this evening's program. The sponsor of this Civilian Logistician of the Year award is Google Cloud. Google Cloud supports the critical missions of our military and national security personnel around the world by providing them with the most secure, reliable, innovative cloud solutions. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Kevin Mulligan from Google Cloud to assist us in presenting the award. The Marine Corps Civilian Logistician of the Year is Mr. Keith Pruski. Mr. Pruski served as the Material Management Operations Group Liaison Officer to Marine Forces Reserve. Mr. Pruski led a team in spearheading the execution of 9 force design initiatives, managing transportation of over $121 million of major end equipment and achieving a $90,000 cost savings for the Marine Corps. His expertise in global combat service support, Marine Corps, was also critical in helping process 860 service requests that helped divest 15,520 assets worth over $273 million. Please join me in a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Mulligan, and congratulations to Mr. Pruski. Next, I would like to present the Marine Corps Installations Command Civilian of the Year, sponsored by Marine Federal Credit Union. Marine Federal Credit Union is committed to serving communities of Marine Corps installations. Our employees understand the needs of military life and apply that to helping Marines financially. I would like to invite Mr. Ike Johnson of Marine Federal Credit Union to the stage to assist in presenting this award. The Marine Corps Installations Command Civilian of the Year is Mr. Lorenzo Zamora. Mr. Zamora served as animal caretaker, United States Marine Corps Mounted Color Guard, Marine Corps Logistics Base Barstow. Mr. Zamora oversaw and cared for 12 horses of the Marine Corps Mounted Color Guard in its facilities, while also proactively assuming several collateral duties and managing an extensive facility improvement project. His efforts culminated in a successful equestrian demonstration attended by over 1,000 people. Please join me in a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, and congratulations to Mr. Zamora. The next presentation is the Marine Corps Enlisted Logistician of the Year, sponsored by Oracle. Oracle supports the Marine Corps logistics community with worldwide informational technology solutions to leverage uniform logistical capabilities. I would like to invite Ms. Tamara Greenspan from Oracle to the stage. The Marine Corps Enlisted Logistician of the Year is Gunnery Sergeant Henry Maldonado, who served as a logistics support team chief, Marine Special Operations Company F, 2nd Marine Raider Battalion. As a Special Operations Task Force Joint Staff Chief deployed to the Philippines, Gunnery Sergeant Maldonado expertly managed combat service support for his teams while innovating new designs for transporting inflatable boats and establishing a new point of embarkation that nearly saved $6 million in deployment costs. Please join me in a round of applause. And he just got picked up as a warrant officer. Thank you, Ms. Greenspan, and congratulations to Gunnery Sergeant Maldonado. And one officer. Sorry about that. Hey, sorry about that. It's reading the script. Reading the script. Next, I'd like to recognize the Marine Corps Installations Command Enlisted Marine of the Year. This award is sponsored by MSC Industrial Supply, a leading North American distributor of metalworking and maintenance, repair, and operations products and services. Representing MSC Industrial Supply is Mr. Tom Bratcher. The Marine Corps Installations Command Enlisted Marine of the Year is Staff Sergeant Shelby Allen. Staff Sergeant Allen served as Air Traffic Controller, Headquarters and Headquarters Squadron, Marine Corps Air Station, Camp Pendleton. Staff Sergeant Allen oversaw 13,000 aviation operations and over 305 hours of air traffic services with zero incidents. In addition to her air traffic control duties, she provided training that resulted in 16 position qualifications for her Marines and led robust community engagement efforts that delivered aid to over 900 Marine families. Please join me in a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Richard, and congratulations, Staff Sergeant Allen. Next, I'd like to recognize the Marine Corps Logistics Small Unit of the Year. This award is sponsored by Targeted Approach, a small business which provides support to the Marine Corps logistics and supply chain strategic analysts. Targeted Approach is represented by Mr. A.J. Bishop. The Marine Corps Small Unit of the Year is Combat Logistics Company 33, Combat Logistics Regiment 37, 3rd Marine Logistics Group. Combat Logistics Company 33 provided superior general support across the functions of logistics to units and exercise partners across the Marine Corps Base Hawaii, serving as the cornerstone that enabled operations on the island. Please join me in a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Bishop, and congratulations to the members of Combat Logistics Company 33, Combat Logistics Regiment 37, 3rd Marine Logistics Group. The next award is the Marine Corps Installation Excellence Award, Air Station. This award is supported by Biango. Biango Wireless is a leading provider of wireless solutions for the U.S. military, providing internet connectivity at more than 85 United States military bases, connect troops, and prioritize the needs of missions on base. The Marine Corps Installation Excellence Award Air Station is the Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, North Carolina, Marine Corps Installations East. During FY23, Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point effectively managed a $1.1 billion F-35 transition program and reduced its carbon footprint, saving over $2 million in cost, all by setting the standard for air station excellence as the service's sole 24/7 air station. Here to accept the award is Colonel Burks and Sergeant Major Heiting, Commanding Officer and Sergeant Major, Marine Corps Air Station, Cherry Point. Please join me in a round of applause. Congratulations to the members of Marine Corps Air Station, Cherry Point. We will now present the Marine Corps Large Logistics Unit of the Year. This award is supported by Amitech. Amitech Fluid Analysis Division has proudly overseen the Department of Defense Joint Oil Analysis Program for almost 4 decades. Our company takes great pride in having spearheaded the Marine Corps inaugural oil analysis program for ground vehicles. Amitech is represented by Mr. Jason Marshall. The Marine Corps Large Logistics Unit of the Year is Combat Logistics Battalion 8, Combat Logistics Regiment 2, 2nd Marine Logistics Group. During FY23, Combat Logistics Battalion 8 helped innovate numerous new technologies in the field while serving as experimental battalion and supporting both command and joint forces, including Exercise Unitask 23 in South America. Here to accept the award is members of Combat Logistics Battalion 8 and Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Robnett. Thank you, Mr. Marshall, and congratulations to the members of Combat Logistics Battalion 8. The next presentation is the Marine Corps Installations Excellence Award, Ground Installation. This award is sponsored by Dominion Energy. Dominion Energy is committed to serving our customers and communities where we live and work. Just like those we honor this evening, we take our mission very serious and are dedicated to delivering reliable, affordable, clean energy and protecting the environment. Mr. Drew Warren is here to represent Dominion Energy. The Marine Corps Installations Excellence Award, Ground Installation, is Marine Corps Base, Camp Pendleton, California, Marine Corps Installations West, managing a vast network of over 112,000 acres worth of facilities and training areas. During FY23, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton hosted over 75,000 training events and hosted dozens of tenant commands. Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton also advanced the environmental security efforts that expanded electric vehicle networks and recycling initiatives across the installation. Here to receive the award is Brigadier General Woodworth and Sergeant Major Canberra, Commanding General and Sergeant Major, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, California. Please join me in a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Warren, and congratulations to the members of Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. Next is the presentation of the Marine Corps Logistics Organization of the Year for Innovation. This award is sponsored by Angliocotech. Angliocotech supports smart, secure, and resilient supply chains for national defense. Mr. David Cooper is here to represent Angliocotech. The Marine Corps Logistics Organization of the Year for Innovation is Logistics Operations School, Marine Corps Combat Service Support School's Training Command. During FY23, Logistics Operations School pioneered the first Marine Corps data analytics course and collaborated with the Office of Naval Research to implement adaptive learning tools. Representing the unit is Lieutenant Colonel Amber Coleman and members of the Logistics Operations School. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, and congratulations to Logistics Operations School. I would like to present the Marine Corps Installations Command Officer of the Year. This award is sponsored by CACI. CACI modernizes, implements, and supports the supply chain system the Marine Corps relies on and was a key part in supporting the Marine Corps achievement of the Department of Defense's first clean audit option. CACI delivers innovation at the speed of mission. This time, I'd like to invite Mr. Grant Demoli from CACI to assist in presenting this award. The Marine Corps Installations Command Officer of the Year is Lieutenant Colonel Driscoll, Chief of Staff, Executive Officer, Marine Corps Base Camp Blas, Marine Corps Installations Pacific. Lieutenant Colonel Driscoll demonstrated outstanding leadership in my ward and was critical to Camp Blas's response and recovery from the storm by supervising a headquarters relocation and spearheading damage assessment. He was pivotal in managing the base's ongoing construction efforts, regional partner engagement, and expansion of the installation's civilian workforce and program responsibilities for the new installation. Please join me in a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Demola, and congratulations to Lieutenant Colonel Driscoll. Ladies and gentlemen, our final award of this evening is the First Lieutenant Travis Manion Award. This award recognizes the Marine Corps Logistics Officer of the Year, named in honor of First Lieutenant Travis Manion, who gallantly gave his life in service to his country during Operation Iraqi Freedom. On April 29, 2007, First Lieutenant Travis Manion and his fellow Marines were ambushed while searching a suspected insurgent house. As he led the counterattack against the enemy forces, Travis was fatally wounded by an enemy sniper while aiding and drawing fire away from his wounded teammates. His courageous acts allowed every member of his patrol to survive. For his action, Travis was awarded the Silver Star and Bronze Star, with valor immortalizing the words, "If not me, then who?" I would like to invite Colonel Tom Mannion, retired, to the stage. The First Lieutenant Travis Manion Award is sponsored by V2X and Raytheon and RTX Business. VTX transform operations and sustainment for government and commercial clients worldwide through operational support services, training, and converged environments that integrate physical and digital infrastructure. Raytheon has developed and continues to advance a portfolio of sensors, command and control systems, and effectors designed to detect and defeat complex threats across the battle space. Representing Raytheon is Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Spites, and representing V2X is Mr. Vince Cruz. This year's First Lieutenant Travis Manion of the Year Award is Chief Warrant Officer to Gustavo Yanez, General Account Officer in Charge, 2nd Supply Battalion, 2nd Marine Logistics Group. Chief Warrant Officer to Yanez, Leadership and Innovation in Improving Supply and Maintenance Management Process, resulting in fulfilling 82 backordered parts, decreasing part wait times, and increasing due and status line performance for almost 15%. His introduction of a hybrid stocking strategy provided a 21% fill rate, increased while leading an innovative implementation of robotic processing that saved over 300 hours of manual input time. Again, please join me in a round of applause. And I thank you again, Colonel Mannion and Mr. Spice and Mr. Cruz, and congratulations. This concludes the award presentation, and at this time, would you please join me in a final round of applause for our award recipients, please? Again, I thank each and every one of you for attending, and thank you again to all of our sponsors, and a final congratulations to each of them. Now, Lieutenant Colonel Shirley, you got it. Okay. You got speed.
You had me again, ladies and gentlemen. 7 years old and he's still doing this. I don't get it. They look great, Jerry. Thank you so much for all you do. Hey, a couple of things. I close this down for the evening. As always, I'm not perfect. It's hard for me to admit that. But I want to call out Major Generals on over there, Swanee. Please stand up. He told me he is the best aviator in the room, so ACMAC, I apologize for that. That's right. But I admit him, and I apologize. And I also admitted Jesse and Jim, Rear Admirals. Thank you so much for being here. I apologize for that, for not having it. Tomorrow we're going to call the day at Marine Corps Association. We'll figure out what happened. Hey, listen, I learned something tonight that I didn't. I'm a bad joke teller. But number two, that actually the ACMAC visits the PAC. Because if you look at him, you probably couldn't tell that he does anything like that. Looking a little bit shabby there, ACMAC, but that's okay. So, in all seriousness, so thank you so much to you, sir, for spending time with us tonight. Your words truly resonate, and they mean a lot to all the logisticians. Congratulations to Ted on a successful track on the audit of the Marine Corps. Fantastic to you and the entire team force, and to all of you again, and to all our award winners. I just wish you all congratulations, well done. There's a great challenge ahead of us, and you are up to that. So thank you for that. I wish all of you a safe journey home tonight. Fair winds and following sea. Semper Fidelis.